Hi guys, this is Vidas,
And Usha.
and today is part 29 of Ask Vidas and Osha podcast. And today's question was sent by Robert, and his challenge in organ practice is really finding time, right? Um, like a lot of people, uh, once you sit down on the organ bench, you can do a lot of things, right? But sitting down at the organ bench is the most difficult thing, and the most challenging part is probably finding the time. Osha, how do you find time recently for practice? Is it easy for you, or you have to really dig deep into your schedule?
Well, right now it's actually easy because I'm on vacation. No, I'm not teaching at school
Mm-hmm.
right now. But in general, yes, it's very hard.
It,
While teaching full time, and working at the university as an organist, leading the studio and doing just domestic stuff.
mm-hmm.
So it's always very hard to find time. But I think it's a common problem for many people.
Mm-hmm. You cannot really escape this, right?
Sure. So it just depends on how important for you it is.
How bad do you want
Yes,
to
how
learn?
bad you want to learn to play or to practice or to learn new stuff. So I think if it's important for you, you will be able to find some time to practice.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not much every day, but still some.
Osha, when you schedule a recital or public performance of some sort, solo or together with me, is it easier then for you to force yourself to find time?
Sure, of course, because I have a deadline waiting. It's like like a sword hanging over my head.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to practice anyway.
It's a public accountability, right?
Sure,
People depend on you. Uh, Even just one person, you don't want to let him down, right?
sure.
And your listeners, your fans also will be waiting and probably are planning already to come to your recital. And if you're not practicing, you just letting them down too.
Sure. And of course, when you practice, when you find time to practice, make your practice as efficient as you can.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing that can, save you time and compensate, the lack of practice time.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that most people could find at least 15 to 30 minutes a day of
I'm
practice?
sure we would, yes.
Um, because because we waste time with our phone, with social media, right?
TV,
TV. Sometimes people don't even watch TV. They just look at the screen nowadays. YouTube, right?
yes.
That's a big thing. So during those idle moments, you could really practice. Even if you're not at the instrument itself, you can practice at the table, right?
Sure.
It still counts. If still is organ practice. If you are getting closer to your goals.
Yes, and if you are thinking about music, which you will be, performing, singing it, in your head, that's a lot too. I remember when studying at the Academy of Music, I would have, to go by public transportation for at least half an hour to 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just keep singing in my mind, going through my organ music.
Commuting.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it would help actually.
Yeah, what we do with our time when we sit and wait in line, for example, at the supermarket, what we do in our mind when we sit on the bus or a train, when we commute, right? When we don't have to do something really with our hands or mental activity, then we can really jump in and start mental practice.
Sure.
hmm That's all sometimes it takes. Right, but probably the most important takeaway is probably finding finding this um, public accountability, right?
Sure.
If you're just practicing for yourself, chances are that you will not stick with it, right? You have to stick with organ playing at least for 67 days in order to form a habit. That's a scientifically proven number of days. After that, it becomes a little bit easier each day if you stick with it for 67 days. But it's a still long period of time, right, Osha?
Yes, it is.
So some people can prepare for recital in 67 days, right?
Yes, definitely.
Right. So so that's the most critical part of your plan, to stick for 67 days. And the best way is to really announce that you are going to play in public. No, I'm not saying you have to play entire recital, right? Maybe just one piece for church service.
Yes.
That would be great for starters. Even if you're not a church organist, maybe you have friends who are, right? And announce to them, hey, I want to come to your church in a couple of months and play this piece for communion or postlude, right?
Definitely.
If they are your friends, they will definitely let you. And you will have, of course, public accountability this way. And you will force yourself
Sure.
finding time. Okay, do we have some trainings that we could offer to people that would be helpful about finding time?
I think so. Yes, I think we did that course about finding time to practice.
Right. It's really very comprehensive. We sat down and recorded and brainstormed all the ideas, not like in 7 or 10 minutes like today, but for a long time we sat down and gave examples from our life and other things, uh, how we really managed to find time and more ideas than today. So if you are struggling with this, I think this course, Finding Practice Time, would be
Helpful.
quite helpful. Yeah, people say that. And right now, of course, you can take advantage of 30-day free trial of Total Organist, and your course would be free, Finding Practice Time, together with any other courses that you would like to take during that time. So go ahead and check this out at organduo.lt/total dash organist. Okay, this was Vidas.
And Osha,
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.